Let's go live. Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 23rd of January. So looking at the news first, I'm just trying to make head or tail of the Bank of Japan's governor's comments coming through here. It seems that the yen initially advanced on the after the Bank of Japan governor stated that the central bank is more confident in meeting its price targets. But then went on to say, but it's difficult to determine how close it was to exiting the current ultra-loose policy stance. I've just read through God knows how many pages and lines of comment, and well, it's as clear as some muddy water. So on that note, I'll leave that and look at today. Well, today we haven't got a great deal of news. Let me just bring up my news service here. So we've had the Bank of Japan already. We've got the ECB lending survey. Okay, that's not anything. And then we're running on until this evening when we start talking about New Zealand inflation. So it's another relatively quietish day. Aside, once we get rid of this Bank of Japan data and starts floating out there, but it's certainly initially strengthened the yen. Anyway, let's look at the technicals, and we'll start off looking at the euro dollar. And well, we've seen a bit of a rally now. Whether it's a knock-on effect, well, I don't know whether it's a knock-on effect or not. Actually, it closed up yesterday. Actually, the euro in the end against the dollar here, coming off as I speak a little bit. It has it snipped in there and tried putting high, well, I had just about put a higher highs in there. Well, it's now probably put a higher low in on the way, so it has got a higher low in, which is a bit more of a sort of a slightly more bullish, but we're still running into these points of resistance, into the key moving averages here, the 50, the 200. 200 may be looking a little bit more docile. It's starting to point up as opposed to being pointing down, so price could just push on. Not a lot of a clue there at all. It's already moved as much as it did the whole of yesterday, so again, it's not really on my trading list this morning at the moment. The pound again pushing up there solidly. I say solidly. Yesterday and ended up positive. It's full sort of morning pull. It's already moved quite a long way again, so takes away the potential somewhat. Now the Bank of Japan, I'm not too sure if the governor is still speaking there. 7:37 was the last link I've got on here, so not too sure if he's still speaking, but you can see the reaction. It's literally dropped and popped. So it's, well, technically run back into its 4-hourly 50 and bounce from, or air kissed it and bounce. There you go. It's just short of the hourly 200, but bounce at the moment. It's probably no one else can really work out what's going on there either. Aussie dollar. Now the Aussie dollar was looking really good last night when I left this. I am in a short position on the breakdown here. I'm still in the short position, but from a worse position. Now this was not far out of taking out the prior highs here. We'll see how things develop. It is still in a larger downward trend, but I don't like the price action at the moment, but we'll see what happens as we go through the morning. It has pushed up. It's not a trade from where it is. I wouldn't go into this trade. It looked really nice last night when I was looking at it. Everything was set up perfectly with a flag pattern, but it's not looking so good from here. It has arguably double topped in the short term, so maybe we'll get a reaction, but if I wasn't in the short position, there is a possibility I would get short on the break of the low between the two highs, but at the moment not looking quite so good. US dollar CAD, again we've seen a rally in the end there. Yesterday was softening up there, but well, we're seeing a rally picking back up again now. Maybe it's the Bank of Japan that we can blame for all this price action overnight. This does look like it's got a reasonable bull flag running here. It'll be interesting to see post 8 o'clock whether this gets a continuation. Could be a run up for the R1. So we'll watch that this morning. So at the moment that's probably one of the better looking markets for potential. The New Zealand dollar, well, this also had its bounce here. It's doing pretty well. It had broken its prior lows there. I'm still short on this on a swing basis. It's turning around maybe again at the moment. It's not a place I'd try and get into again. It's something sometimes once the market's moved and then moves against you a bit. I'm still actually in the money on this one. I sold from up here somewhere, so it's fine, it's in the money. However, it's still not a market I would join from here. I mean, the consolidation that we ended up seeing there, that it's broken its channel, pulled back midway in the channel. Maybe if it breaks back down again, it'll look a bit better for the downside, but it's not a market I would join. So a lot of these markets, yep, they're still running for me, but not looking as pretty as they did, technically that is. Now just looking at this dollar Swissy just rolled back a little bit so far, but again we're seeing a bit of a bounce. So pretty much across the markets here we've seen the dollar weakening. Now sort of part of it may coincide with the Japanese data, but I'm just looking, about 3 o'clock in the morning we started seeing them move. So yeah, maybe we can put part of it down to the Japanese data there, and now the news is out and done, we could just see a continuation to the upside. Okay, well, not a lot else in the currencies. I'm going to go run through the other pairs in my room at 8:35. So that's that. Let's look at just a quick look at gold. So gold a bit up and down as well. It's followed the rest of the markets. It's had a bit of a rally over the previous 4 hours there, but again popping down here made quite a mess of things. It was, and it has, I should say, put a higher low in here in the short term sort of price action, but it's all got a bit messy. Talking of messy, oil. It is starting to move up, which means it'll probably sell back out again. It's trying to break the top of this triangle. It's a right old mess, and well, a break of the highs there this morning might see it push on further, but it's so unreliable out of these triangles that I tend to leave them until there's something a little clearer to see. So yeah, we'll leave that for now. The S&Ps. Okay, S&Ps, now the dollar's settling a little bit. Well, the S&Ps are still pitching there. One thing with the S&Ps there, it's pushed into its monthly R1 and stalled at the moment. It's really a question of whether the consolidation will hold high enough. Okay, I'll let this get away with this at the moment. It was largely consolidating yesterday. It popped and dropped a bit there. It is arguably still around the highs where it's consolidating. If it starts dropping down and consolidates lower down, I'd expect more of a retracement. But at the moment, maybe just having a little battle there. Morning, guys. Let's just have a look. Nasdaq's no real difference to these. I mean, you can look at one and you're looking at them all in terms of largely the price action. It has put that shooting star in, which might put some people off. And actually, the difference here is it has pulled away from the highs here a little bit more. That doesn't look so good. But we'll see what happens. A break above the back above the pivot, that would look a bit more bullish. I don't really, just because it's not setting up and looking a bit ugly here, just means that I wouldn't want to be going long. It's not that I want to short this market. I think it's too much risk in trying to short the market. I know a lot of people, as soon as you see these sort of signals, they'll be looking to sell into it, like the double tops. A lot of selling coming in or trying to sell into here, but the buyers are buying. The big money is still quite bullish on the stock front, so follow suit there. Okay, S&P's. The Dow, just to show you, very similar price action there. In fact, it's probably a little bit smoother. It's not into the resistance of its pivots. The DAX. So the DAX still in this descending channel. At some point it might break a little bit more convincingly. Yesterday it looked like it was starting to move quite nicely, and that was it. It must have exhausted itself. Oh, just after 8 o'clock it popped and dropped again, and sold back off, flagged again, off it's gone. It is putting higher lows in. It's there maybe to be had, but it's making a hard job of it all. FTSE's just rallied a little bit through the earlier part of today so far, futures, but it's still quite a mess down here. But maybe it's taking out some of these highs. It's starting to give us higher lows by doing so. It's a bit of a pig's ear, but yeah, as I say, it might have a bit more upside. The only thing is, it's in such a downward trend in this sort of intermediate time frame in particularly. You could be drawing a line across the low there and wait for the breakdown, but we'll see how things get on there. It's not a market I just particularly want to be in. Okay, do I think the dollar index will fill the gap from yesterday? Okay, I haven't seen a gap. I don't look at the dollar index that much. Dollar index is basically inverted. If I can find the dollar index, let me just switch what I'm looking at here. Unless you're looking at last week's gap, a little bit of a gap on the it's unusual because it's yeah, futures market, of course. It's actually, just looking at here, I mean, it is effectively the ugliest thing going, because it's an inverted euro dollar. The euro is such a large part. If you just flip this back up, you could be forgiven for thinking you're looking at the euro here. It is, to me, still pushing to the upside. Let's see that little tiny gap last week. I can't see a gap yesterday. Quite rare to see gaps, but I can't see anything, I'm afraid, there on my chart here. It is gaining back again at the moment. We'll see what happens, but the overall pattern here has fallen away, and it has taken the lows out, which is pretty much, as I say, if you look at the euro, it's pretty inverted, opposite way up. We're seeing effectively the euro come down against the dollar slightly at the moment, but all a bit iffy. Lots of things do change come 8 o'clock, and it might be worth running through on this. Okay, yeah, as I say, got no gap there, sorry, but gaps do get filled, but if you can see them, and it depends on your broker's feed, I guess, a little bit there. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you a good day's trading. As I say, it's not too much. The only thing, what did I see? That was the US dollar CAD was looking like it was going to continue to the upside, but even that switching back at the moment. The dollar dollar strength falling away. Okay, right, leaving it there. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you later. If you want to join the room about 8:35, I'll be back. Catch you then. Bye for now. Ending that there. Right, okay, where's everyone going here?